Yeah.
Hello, Benites, and welcome to the show. On tonight's show, I'm going to talk about what the hell am I going to talk about? You can't predict what I'm going to talk about here. I don't even know. So we just watched a movie on Netflix, and it was great. Holly, what do you think? Look at the size of my freaking head. You know, I would have a full head of hair if I had a normal size head.
I don't even know why that thing skips the way it does. Ronnie, you changed your avatar. Did you watch Severance, Ronnie? I won't discuss any spoilers, but Holly and I are split on this one. She enjoyed it, although she is known to have better taste than me. I thought it was perhaps one of the worst hours of television ever. Hello, Juliet. Hello, Lisa. Juliet, what the hell are you so excited about? Hey, Nigel. Oh, you had construction people. You need to get your doors put up because you got family coming. If I remember correctly, you see how I keep up to date? How many episodes are there? 10?
There was 9 last time. I thought there was 10 this time. That was number 7.
So we got at least 2 left, if not 3.
I don't understand why you didn't like it.
It was boring.
It's not boring. They had to tell the story that they told at some point. So why not in this episode?
Listen, I can have an opinion.
Yes, I understand that. It was just me questioning your wrong opinion.
You're an angry woman. And the frustration you have, you should not take out on me. For dinner, Holly wants to try Mike's pasta, so we got Mike's pasta. Their fettuccine Alfredo is very good. I expect to eat that for at least one more meal. You didn't throw any of that out, did you?
I did. I threw everything out.
You know, you're just rude.
I got spaghetti and meat sauce, and it was very good. I'll have you know, you're in the minority.
Schmack, you've been in since then, and we talked. It's fine. Don't worry about it. You what?
You're in the minority.
Well, I believe that. I believe other people that have less taste than me would like
Better
that.
taste than you mean.
Well, that's what you say. I just think it was absolute, and I didn't like it.
It's all right. You're allowed. You're allowed to be wrong, but you're allowed.
We don't happen to have any computer programmers in the room, do we? I've been working on something this entire week. I feel like I didn't get anything done. And hey, Deb, by the way, folks, if you go outside now, well, it depends on where you are. This is the East Coast. But if you look to the western sky, if you look to the west, you can see a real bright light in the sky, that is Venus. And then if you look almost directly overhead is Jupiter. And also out there below Venus, but you can't see like with the naked eye, is Neptune and Mercury. You can see, I think, 6 of the 8 planets. Well, we're on one of them. I know a couple months ago, Mars was so bright, and I walked out. I have this app on my phone. It's called Sky Guide. They make them all kinds of apps for both the iPhone and the Android, and you can hold it up. And any star you see or anything, it's very accurate. It'll tell you what it is or the constellation or whatever. So I remember walking out and I looked up and it was this bright, like star in the sky that was red. I said, that's got to be Mars. Opened up the app, pointed at it, sure as hell. Well, I'm sure science has a reason for downgrading Pluto to not a planet, but I don't know. It's a floating something out there. So all week long, I've been working on this program, and it's using a technology called geofencing, which basically means when you you draw on a map a geofence, and when you cross a line, you'll see something different than when you're within the area. And what I'm trying to do is make a site where I can show content and sell ads to local businesses, because I can put ads on Bad Ben TV right now. But the problem is Tilton Road, I do believe Mike's the one on Tipton. Who? What do you know about Tilton Road, J-Lo? Are you down here? So the problem is when I look at Google Maps, it shows me right where I am, right here at my house. But when you use these geofencing programs, they use IP addresses. Our IP address, when you type it in, shows that we're 12 miles from here. So anyway, I finally got an app that is kind of working on my phone. On my phone, you can, it shows it works. I can drive a couple miles and it blacks out the area. You leave the zone. It's exactly how I want it to work. But on my computer, it does not work. It is on Tilton Road, and it's gets really good reviews. They need to. I mean, Grubhub, was that who we used, Hal? DoorDash has a great version of their menu, but their own website menu looks like somebody shoved a crown in between their butt cheeks and sat on a piece of wax paper and drew it. Probably the same people that made this episode of
Stop it.
Severance.
Stop being so mean.
You know what Howie makes, J-Lo? She gets this scampi mix. It comes pre-made. And she'll like make spaghetti and she'll make Alfredo sauce. Or do you do that with the scampi mix?
No.
No, she just makes she'll make the spaghetti or whatever and then mix it with the scampi sauce and shrimp. But they got to be deveined. Because I used to think it was actually a vein, and that was gross enough until I found out it was a turd. How about last night's broadcast? Almost 2 hours. And Mitch came in with all his nonsense.
I saw Scott last night too.
I like this linguine with clam sauce, and Holly calls me basically an asshole.
They had it, by the way.
Yeah, well, I couldn't find it.
I found it.
I was getting so upset with their menu.
The next time I'll get you that if you want it.
I wanted it tonight.
I said they had it. You didn't give me a chance.
But I like the fettuccine. So Mitch filled Joe in on his health situation. He has been dealing with POTS. It's like an immuno something or other, and he's doing much better. Well, yes, Pocket. However, your apps that use the same lobster house. Let me tell you a story. My buddy Mike, who lives right around the corner from me, at Christmas, he would like to go down to Cape May, Washington Street Mall and get a gift certificate at this place for his wife. And we'd stop there. They're open year round. But also, we went down there one summer. He was doing a job at down there in Cape May, and we stopped there. I've stopped there twice. I hadn't been there my whole life. And then, like, in the past couple of years, I've been there, like, twice. And one of the things he also buys is, you get their clam chowder in a cup. Oh, so good. The lobster bisque is so good. Everything is in there. So you actually feel like you're transported out of this area to another, like to Cape Cod. I don't even know. I've never been to Cape Cod. Or to like some like seaside. And the fish industry is big down there, but it just feels out of the area. Back to the GPS. The phone is using GPS, but also there's a setting, and it works on Safari and Chrome, and I imagine Firefox and all the. That's disgusting. I'm trying to focus here on technical issues, and you're over there just exploding. My God. So, hi, Mark. So you've seen it when you use sites. Like if you, for instance, look for a store in your area, when you click on the website, it asks you to allow your location. You can hit allow or don't allow. So this is an option that's built into this program. So when people click on it, it would say allow. And that is using your precise location, usually via GPS. And if you're using the Google plugin, it will show you exactly where you are. But for some reason, their code that I pay for now, it's a little line of JavaScript. Their code does not require the website to make you grant permission to use your location. See, my idea is that I'll be able to go to local businesses and I'll be able to make my content available for free to the community. But the local businesses will be inclined to advertise on it because it's their customers. It's people nearby. But it doesn't make sense for a local pizza place to put an ad on my channel that's being watched in California. It would be different, like anybody that had a website, and if you were selling stuff, that, and you ship anywhere, like particularly in the United States, that could benefit from an ad on Bad Ben TV. But for the most part, for me to try to sell to local businesses, I won't be able to really keep track of where their ads are being, seen. And so it's a waste. So my goal is that if I eventually get it down to where I can do like a 5 or a 10 mile radius. I mean, if something's exceptional, you'll drive a distance. But when's the last time you've driven even 20 miles to get a pizza? So, coincidentally, the phone also does not ask for your location. It just gets it right. I'm going to test the phone out tomorrow morning with Mrs. Biggins. Well, I don't know. They rely on the Google API, so the Google geofencing API, so it ought to be the same. What I think is happening is I think the call to make it, and I'm not going to get too technical because they'll bore most of the people in the room here. I mean, the Benites are smart, but they don't give a shit about this. Hi, Mark. It's not forcing the browser to authorize the location. And I changed the browser settings to always ask, to allow, to whatever. Just well, something interesting about Cape May County, Schmack. They shot that Timothy Chalamet film, The Great Unknown. What was that called? How?
What?
The Timothy Chalamet movie. What was it called?
No, Complete Unknown.
Complete Unknown. That was shot in Cape May County. You'll see Congress Hall in it a lot. That was last year, was shot there. And just last week, when we were gallivanting, we came home a different way. And as we're going down through, like where it goes from Cape May up into Dorothy and Estelle Manor and those places, there's train tracks. And there was this train on there. And I was like, oh, look at that. Well, I found out yesterday, Steven Spielberg is filming there right now. And they use those train tracks to film like a train hitting a car. And Emily Blunt's in it. So we got Emily Blunt and Steven Spielberg. I'm expecting my phone to ring and for Spielberg to say, hey, you got a tripod I can borrow? I said, hey, why don't you donate to Bad Ben 15? How much do you need? $4 million. That's what I'll say. But a lot's been going on in the entertainment industry in southern New Jersey. I was the only show in town up until last year when Timothée Chalamet pulled in my driveway and wanted to take a picture in front of the Bad Ben house. I said, get out of here. Now that didn't happen. We also, and I forgot, just last year, there was a Shirley MacLaine movie filmed in Atlantic City. That hasn't even been released yet. One of the things that surprised me was about a month ago, we were hangry for Annie Ann's pretzels, and there's none around. But now we've discovered that the Amish market in Williamstown has something very similar. In fact, I think it's better. But so it showed 2 locations on the Ocean City Boardwalk. It said opens at 10. I drove over there. The only thing that was open the entire stretch of that boardwalk I walked, and it was a mild day, was Frailinger's Taffy. I said, son of a bitch. Oh, Atlantic City is as terrible as it's always been. Well, first of all, I don't really go there. I used to. And when people would come visit, I would take them over as they say in South Jersey, the casinos and or the casinas. But parking used to be free. And then I know that when the state took over, they added like a $2 charge for parking for beautification. Well, now I hear people, there's this Everything Atlantic City Facebook page, and these places are asking like $30 for parking. But it was nice. The Ocean Casino reopened. Tropicana is still there. Does a lot of people love Trop? The Ocean, the Revel reopened as the Ocean Casino, and that is really nice. People talk about Borgata's nice. Showboat closed its casino, but it's still a hotel, and it's like family oriented. It's got a water park or water park built on the side, and it's got a huge game room, like video games and stuff, and rock climbing wall. And that casino closed when it was profitable. Originally, Stockton College bought it, and they were holding classes there, and they had they were using it like dorm rooms and all. But then they sold it. Ocean closed. The Revel closed, and was closed for a couple years till the current people reopened it. It's nice. The Hard Rock, former Trump Taj Mahal, that is now the Hard Rock, and that's pretty nice. I just found out that Atlantic City is like the only place in New Jersey left that has a Rainforest Cafe. One up the road just closed. The big tragedy that was announced here was that Big Lots was going out of business in Summers Point, but already a place called Ocean Job or something will be taking it over, and they've already started interviewing there. I don't know why they just aren't. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they require more staffing because they might have more product, but hopefully they're hiring the people that work for Big Lots. Having the place you work for go out of business sucks. Well, like Party City, I think a week before Christmas, wasn't how, or was it right after
It
Christmas?
was right before Christmas.
Right before Christmas. The employees show up and they're told they don't have a job. Leave. And there's this Ocean State job lot. That's what it is, Adam.
There's a lot of them in the country.
There's a lot of them up in North Jersey, from what I've heard. Well, Superfresh actually got absorbed by Acme. Bought a lot of the old Superfresh stores. And did they buy Superfresh out?
Yeah.
Albertsons,
Safeway, and like Jewel Osco. They're all owned by the same people.
right. And so, like in the city of Ocean City, you had an Acme at the south end, you had a Super Fresh in the middle, and you had another. Oh, this is Wildwood. I was thinking that you had a Super Fresh in the middle, and that Super Fresh went under, but Acme took over that Super Fresh. So there's two Acmes now in Ocean City, and it might seem a little silly in the winter, but in the summer, it's not. There's so many people there, and in Wildwood, there was a small Acme when you went in to the center of Wildwood, and then in North Wildwood was a Super Fresh, which is now, I believe, an Acme. And that Acme that opened in the center of Ocean City, like a couple years ago, some kid started it has underground parking, which is another reason why that's popular, because there's so many people in Ocean City, and they had an underground parking lot. Some kids lit some pallets on fire down there,
Stupid idiots.
did all this damage, and that place was closed for a couple months.
Yeah.
I don't know whatever happened to the kid.
Evidently, it was the son of somebody very rich and did nothing happen to him.
Probably because they paid for it.
Yeah.
They wrote a check and it went away. Sons of bitches. So, Adam, what do you think of Ocean State Job Lot? Now, have you ever been in Big Lots? Because Big Lots basically was kind of a crap fest. You know what?
How Mays Landing was
No,
nice
the
when
one
they-
Mays Landing was very nice.
when they first opened it, at least.
But this one down here was a Jamesway, and then became Big Lots, and they really didn't remodel the store at all. So the store's like looking 40, 50 years old. So I don't know if because this Ocean's already interviewing employees. So I don't know if they're just going to close one day as Big Lots and open the next day. And that makes me nervous, because that means they'll probably put up a big vinyl banner, and she gets so upset because Planet Fitness opened next to the Acme in the same plaza, and it took them like 6 months to get a permanent sign. And every time we went down there, she was so angry she would begin to berate me. Look how peaceful Black Biscuit's laying.
I don't know. He was completely worn out.
Is she with you?
Yeah.
They went outside like 3 times and they're getting along again. They just had that spell of about a week. And but they roughhouse. They come in and it's like they're covered in a cobweb of each other's saliva. I would love to show this video, but I don't know if it will. No, I can't. Sharing them. No, I won't even. Sorry I brought it up. You know what we have up the road here, probably about 10 miles away, up in a city called Galloway. Galloway's huge, but they have a Dollar General grocery store. It's called like DGOG.
It's Market, whatever it is. Dollar General Market, DG Market.
Yeah.
I've heard about I guess they're common in other states.
We'll check it out when it opens.
I thought it was already open. Yeah.
Well, the ghost meter, if you're talking about the app on the phone, that's called the Spirit Talker. If you're talking the ghost meter, you can get that thing on. I mean, when I sell them because they were used in the films and people will pay more for them. But there's really no way to personalize it, so I really can't sell them and make anything off of them unless it was like, like the grimoire has writing in it and on it, and that's the actual grimoire that was used in the films. But those ghost meters, they're not that. Let me see, I can find it. I'll look over here. There's an app though, a Spirit Box app that I'd have to check it out again, but that's really good. Oh, that thing is actually $38. The ghost meter I used is available on Amazon, but that's more money than I thought it was. $38 buckaroonies. I have two of them, but we use them, and they're kind of banged up. I don't even know how good they work anymore. Yeah, I'm an expert. I'm a regular, Bill Murray. How about that stuff with Gene Hackman? Now they're saying they checked his pacemaker data, and it seems to indicate that they were dead in the house for 9 days. And some of the things that make it mysterious, like one of the dogs was dead in the closet of the bathroom where the wife was found on the floor with this space heater. Now, electric space heaters are made, if you knock them over, they shut off. But it sounded like it was almost like a kerosene heater or something.
They said that might explain why she was mummified.
Because of the 9 days?
Well, because of the heater.
Oh.
That's what they said. I don't know if it's true or not.
Well, at first I thought they were both old and frail and they committed suicide, but like both of them in a pack. But most people that would do that would try to rehome their dogs first, and then but I came to find out because he was like in his mid-90s, and I thought she might be up there too, but she was like 30 years younger than him. But he was so good in that Crimson Tide, where he played the captain of the sub. He was Lex Luthor. He was the senator in the Birdcage. He just did so much. He was actually the blind guy in Young Frankenstein, and I think he was uncredited, and he was already a super big star, but there's a whole story behind that. like his friendship with Mel Brooks, and he owed Mel Brooks a favor or something. Well, maybe we need to write a Ghostbusters theme song for Tom Roddy for Bad Ben the Musical. Popeye Doyle in French Connection. And then that actor that played Buffy's younger sister, she died. She was only 39, but they said she had had a liver transplant.
Yeah, there was pictures of her at like a red carpet, and she had like a cane, and she didn't look well at all.
Who is it that the blonde hair girl that was in Anchorman? She played the daughter. And,
Christina Applegate.
yeah, she has MS. They had showed her a lot, and she had ballooned up from the medication, and she was also working with a cane. And then other times you see her and she looks good. When I see Michael J. Fox, it's just so upsetting. I don't know what the weather's supposed to be like tomorrow. Are we having a little dip coming up?
What in the temperature?
Yeah. I'm looking.
Tomorrow is supposed to be 59 degrees and cloudy. The next day, it's supposed to be a high of 36.
Oh, that's a big drop. So yeah, Gene Hackman, one of the great ones. I'm expecting to hear about Clint Eastwood any day.
Isn't he in his 90s?
He's like 96 or older. I also think that you're going to be shopping for a new pope here. You really haven't heard much about it past couple days. Then something popped up today about how he had a coughing fit and he vomited and inhaled it and had to be put on something. And anyway, but I do remember, the guy's up there in age. I do remember, and I think it was Pope John Paul II, whoever the Pope was before Pope Benedict. But I remember when he passed and they did the conclave, it was during Easter, like between Palm Sunday and Easter, they did it. And it just felt, I'm not Catholic, but it just felt so spiritual that week. Oh. You order something once from Alibaba or AliExpress, and you get on their email list, and they are relentless.
I hate them.
on my behalf?
Yes.
Make sure you say that.
I hate them on your behalf.
Thank you.
Can I ask you something?
You can do anything you want, hon.
Can you just, not without getting too detailed, can you tell me why you didn't like the episode?
I just found it boring. I mean, I think that whole episode could have been 10 minutes long and interesting because it built on the backstory of a character. We're all wondering what happened to Miss Casey, and it's a backstory about her,
It's about her and Mark.
how they met and all that bullshit. But
And you don't think that's important?
I just think it was drawn out.
Alright, I'm not going to ask you anymore.
It was the worst hour of television I've ever seen. No, not really. It was my least favorite of. Thank you for the donation. It hasn't come up yet, but it appeared on my phone. It was my least favorite of all the episodes. Let's put it that way. Does that make you happier? Thank you, Adam and JLo. I think possibly tomorrow night I'll put some heavy work into episode 2 of Leave the Lights On. Lisa, I'm not going to repeat that out loud because she'll yell at me and you'll be hated.
You're wrong.
What?
If she says she didn't like it, she's wrong.
She says it was the worst episode of the series.
Wrong.
Lisa, I'm telling you right now, it's going to take a lot to get back in her good graces. This one holds a grudge, kind of like she's got the memory of an elephant. And you know how they talk about crows? How crows never forget?
Yep.
And they'll not only attack somebody, but wind up attacking their children that weren't even born when the bad thing happened. I would love to have a crow. That would be so good for Bad Ben films, too. But Sable would eat it. By the way, did you see what this little bitch Glinda did? Yeah, Ronnie, keep it to yourself once you watch it. Oh, stop. Archer, come on.
Come here, Archer.
He doesn't like when I play with dolls. But this is Elphaba, and she's very upset because Glinda stole her hat. All right, I'm putting them down, Archer. I got to switch their sides so they're looking at each other because they are friends. You know, I don't know. I knew nothing really about Wicked prior to watching the movie. But Galinda's a bitch.
By the way, I heard a rumor about Ariana and Cynthia Erivo.
They're lesbians together.
That Cynthia Erivo is a lesbian, but that she's being strung along by Ariana Grande.
Oh, people would say that just because. Look, let's face it. Ariana Grande made 15 times more than Cynthia Erivo did in that film. And she made 7 times more than Goldblum, who was the second highest paid actor in it. But people just start shit because the star of that film was Cynthia Erivo. And people would start. But the draw, Ariana Grande, was great too. And she got paid so much because of her humongous fan base that was turned into viewers. And she did great in it. I'd never heard of Jonathan Bailey, but I guess he was in Bridgerton, and I never watched that. We tried watching it, but they had too many horses, which coincidentally, he used the same horse from Bridgerton he brought to be in Wicked. I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of backstories. Like when they did, well, no, that didn't happen in the movie, but also Holly said in the book Wicked, they had orgies and shit. Bestiality, orgies.
The season finale of Severance will be March 21st.
So that would mean, let's see, tomorrow's March 1st. So next Friday would be the 7th, 14th, 21st. So that's 3 more episodes. So 8, 9, 10. Easter's late this year. Fucking Facebook is such a piece of shit. Excuse my language. I get messages daily from Meta, your page is going to be deleted due to some infraction, and they're from an individual. I can't believe Facebook does not have an AI crawler that looks for those messages and just deletes them. That guy, Zuckerberg, he seems like a weird dude. Who created Instagram? Do you know? It's owned by Facebook now, but because that guy, Jack, what's his name, that created Twitter was kind of a strange dude too. Last night, you also got to watch the tease from Mitch's documentary he's doing on me.
It fucking sucks.
Well, in Wizard of Oz, weren't the flying monkeys friends of the Wicked Witch? Like,
Wizard of Oz? Yes, I thought so.
so she must turn them.
Well, in the book, I told you she tortured the monkeys, which is why they don't like her in the book.
Yeah, Holly said she tortured the monkeys, and so was she evil in the book?
She was experimenting on the monkeys because she felt like if she could get them to fly, they would be free. But she sewed wings onto live monkeys. So she tortured them.
Well, they're obviously not taking that angle in this one. I just want to know how they're going to deal with the part where her sister in the wheelchair is supposed to walk.
Yeah.
With the magic shoes, because she,
I haven't heard anything about.
in one of those firsts for Hollywood, they actually cast a handicapped person to play the role of somebody handicapped.
She's got a bigger role because, you know.
She turns Fiero into the straw man or
and Bach.
scarecrow and Bach.
Fucking weirdo dweeb.
Holly, you're such an angry person.
Not an angry person. I don't like him. I'm sorry.
I think it's because he has red hair.
Probably has a lot to do with that, yes.
Holly's anti-ginger.
I am.
And us kids when we fell in love.
Stop it. No, I don't like him either.
Because he's a ginger.
He's just a weirdo.
Oh, God. And we've got this month. I think it's this month. No, it's early next month when they're coming up with Handmaid's Tale. So anyway, folks, I've been on for a magnificent hour tonight, and I've enjoyed the time we spent together. I will be on tomorrow night, so I'll see you then. See you, love you, bye for now.